What's going on, guys? Good morning. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Um, if you guys weren't paying attention to the news, the G20 summit was going on, and basically, the United States and China came to an agreement that throughout the next 90 days, there won't be any um, new tariffs, but all the tariffs that were originally in place are still going to be in effect. So that's still going to affect a lot of the companies earnings reports. It's still going to affect a lot of those, future guidances. It's good to know that the bleeding is going to stop, but there's still really no telling which direction that's going to go. I mean, Mnuchin spoke today saying he's very hopeful a deal gets done between the U.S. and China, but again, investment strategy, as I always say, hope is not investment strategy. You can't bank on hope. So this morning, the markets are pretty much gapping up about 2%, and I'm going to show you where they're gapping up to and where they have been rejected pre-market, and that will totally change the way you look at this. It's very easy for people to go into a day like today and have this bullish mindset. I said that this morning in chat. That's why I'm being careful. Usually when the market is too long, that's when you got to start looking for areas to short. Um, Obviously, it's always good to have a game plan, whatever way the market goes, just in case we do break those resistance levels on the upside. But in case they hold, you have a lot of room on the downside to complete some moves. Um, Excuse me, I'm a little sick this morning. So I have a few stocks on the watch list I want to go over today. I'm going to start with the SPY. And then I'm going to go over to the Qs, which is the tech index, the ETF. So I want you to look at this 281 resistance area. That previous double top, that was one that we shorted very heavily right here. That double top confirmation, we got that beautiful pullback in the market. We were short almost the entire time. We had that overextended MACD. Even here, one congestion here, two touches, and you get that double top again. We are gapping up right into that area. Now I'm going to pull up the 5-minute chart and you see this 281 resistance price level. Look at how this held up this morning and look at how much we've retraced already. Um, that's incredible that mark that is probably one of our most important upsides, to be honest with you. If that breaks, we have room to run few points, this level here. You get this top over here. That's from 281 to 284, then the 286. You get a lot of room to the upside. So for me, I want to watch and I want to wait for confirmation that this level is going to break. As of now, we're 2 points off of that. Yeah, about two, maybe a point. But you know what? That MACD in the 5-minute is oversold. Right now, there's really no trend in the market. It's kind of just an adjusting period. That's why I wanted to wait and be patient. I was telling everybody you can't just immediately go long at the open because you don't really know which direction this is going to go. You have a very sizable gap to fill on the downside if profits want to start being taken. That's a key level. There's really no long plays for me until that breaks. You know what I'm saying? And already, if you look at our MACD, it's almost a bit overextended. Where are we gonna, how is that gonna adjust when we open up? I'm curious to see where that indicator goes once the market opens. I'm curious to see what that jumps to. I want to see what the RSI jumps to. I want to see how that's looking because right now we are being rejected by major resistance, and that is very important going into this. Now I'm gonna look at the Qs. Same deal. Um, this this area. This is the 173 range. Support, resistance, 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 support, resistance from this gap. Pretty much the top of this channel. The 173.35 range ish. I want to go over here. It's rejected it. It sort of held it this morning, but obviously failed, and now we're retracing. So it's failing to hold pre-market. This is also a bit overextended already. You know what? Like, there's really not that much wiggle room for me. That's why I want to sit here and be patient. If that does break, then hey, you know what? We'll flip the switch and we'll look to go long. But as of now, I'm looking for opportunities for pullbacks. I'm looking for opportunities if the market does decide to break that with volume. And that's where I want to show you these next setups. I'm going to pull up Visa. We're somewhat in a descending triangle, sort of, kind of, or wedge pattern, similar to Pfizer. Um, we are gapping up above this 144, this top resistance level. I want to see if this flips and holds, because as you can see here, it was, it's a detailed level for this stock. If that holds, we really could, if the market, I guess, so to speak, breaks, we could, hold this and then push higher. So from about 144, the next resistance is up here at like 147. So, not much volume going on pre-market, but we are holding it. As of now, I want to see how that works at the open. Definitely one to keep an eye on because Visa has been one of the strongest stocks, on that run up. Not so much after at that profit taking, but it was a steady, healthy uptrend. So I'm definitely gonna monitor this for continuation and look for that. Another one I wanted to show you guys was Intel. I have an alert set for this already. This resistance level is being rejected pre-market. As you can see, double top resistance. It flipped and became support and then acted as resistance, and it's a gap resistance as well. So we closed above this level right here on Friday. And I'm gonna pull up the 5-minute chart. Another stock that was originally above it around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, and now we're fading out below it. So for me, that's not enough to flip the switch and say, hey, I'm gonna have a long bias today, because I can't do that just yet. There's very detailed resistance on a lot of these stocks that we need to confirm and get above, and right now we're not doing that. But I do like this setup. If we do, if the SPY does break that 280 range and the Qs get above that resistance, I do like this. I do like those setups, from 50 to 52. There's a lot of room there. Intel's got pretty cheap options as well, so it's something to definitely keep your eyes on. I mean, we do have the short week this week. It's going to be interesting to see how Hump Day reacts with the markets closed. I don't know, it'll be interesting. Here's Broadcom. Another wedge pattern. This could go either way. As of now, we're above this 245 range pre-market. Now we're right below it. See, another stock right below that resistance. So this resistance level from the gap here, and then a few of these candles, the 245 range. We have this descending trend at around 242. I was looking for that to break, but like I said, we made a lot of our moves overnight. That move from this level, from the 242 to 245, was going to be my play, and right now we're already at 245. So that's what I was saying in the chat this morning, that a lot of these stocks made their moves overnight, so it's tough for me to want to adjust, because at that point, if you're adjusting and trying to chase these plays, it could get risky. So it's something to just keep an eye on, sit back and analyze the market, see how it's going to work and play itself out. But for now, these stocks will be on the watch list, but require no entry just yet. So we'll be patient. We'll see how that evolves. And obviously, I'll be in touch with you guys. So happy trading. Let's get that money.